Imagine a wall, a huge one, in a Los Angeles public library. On it are dozens of figures, the history of an entire country, hundreds of faces. Millions of people have been passing by these images for almost a century. Now here's a simple question. Who painted it? Almost no one knows the answer. And therein lies the paradox. Because the person who created it was once called the Dean of Illustrators. Not a nickname, not an exaggeration. A fact. His name was Dean Cornwell. And we will return to this wall. Definitely, but a little later. Let's start with something else. At the beginning of the 20th century, America reads magazines. Lots of magazines. Cosmopolitan, Harper's Bazaar, Redbook, Good Housekeeping. And the pages of these magazines have a face, a style, a mood. Imagine flipping through them and seeing the same handwriting over and over again. Powerful figures, dramatic lighting, compositions that look like a still frame from a movie. This is Cornwell, even if you've never heard of him. And now it gets even stranger. He wasn't born in New York. He didn't grow up in an artistic capital. He was born on March 5th, 1892, in Louisville, Kentucky, and he didn't start out as a star artist, but as a newspaper boy who drew cartoons for local publications. He realized one thing early on. Illustration is not just drawing. It is a story that must be read at first glance. His path led him to the Chicago Tribune, then to the Art Institute of Chicago, and then a sharp turn. New York, Art Students League. His teacher was Harvey Dunn, one of the key American illustrators of the time. And here Cornwell took another step that changed everything. He goes to London and works with Frank Brangwyn. It is there that his signature style is formed, monumental, almost sculptural. The people in his works don't just stand there. They weigh heavily. They press on the space. And this becomes his signature. By the 1920s, Cornwell is at his peak. He illustrates text by Ernest Hemingway, Pearl S., Buck, and Somerset Maugham. Editors know him. He is entrusted with the most important covers. He is the standard of quality. But then fear sets in. Cornwell realizes that magazines do not live forever. Illustrations disappear along with issues. Today, millions see you, and tomorrow, the page is simply turned. And then he begins to think about other art, the kind that cannot be turned, about walls. And here we return to that library in Los Angeles, to the competition, to a decision that seemed crazy even for its time. But more on that later, because what Cornwell did next went down in history forever. By the mid-1920s, Dean Cornwell is already known to everyone involved in American illustration. His work appears in magazines, on covers, and in books. He has money, he has recognition, but he lacks a sense of permanence. Because a page can be turned, a wall cannot. It was at this moment that a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity arose. The Los Angeles Public Library announced a competition to create monumental murals. The theme was the history of California. The scale was enormous. The risk was enormous. 25 artists participate in the competition, and Cornwell does something that seems almost arrogant. He submits 3 different projects, 2 of them under pseudonyms. No one knows that it is the same person. The result is announced at the end of 1926, and it sounds like a mistake. First place, second place, third place. All 3, Dean Cornwell. At first, the commission doesn't believe it. Then they check. And only then do they realize the scale of the situation. One artist has surpassed everyone else. This is how Cornwell gets a commission that surpasses anything he has done before. Murals for a library in Los Angeles. Dozens of meters, hundreds of characters, scenes of discovery, conflict, expansion, and cultural clashes. The work begins in 1930, and it becomes a physical challenge. Cornwell works slowly, thoughtfully, almost like a director. He doesn't just paint the story. He constructs it so that the viewer reads the wall from left to right, like a film. They consist of 4 large oil paintings, 12 meters wide, and 8 6-meter frescoes containing over 300 figures. He completed the frescoes in 1933 and received a commission of $50,000. The library opens. People walk in and freeze. This is not a decoration. This is not a backdrop. This is history looking down on you. And it would seem, here it is, immortality. Paintings that cannot be transported, cannot be lost, cannot be turned over. But this is where history takes another unexpected turn. Because while Cornwell is immortalizing himself on the walls of the library, the world outside is changing rapidly. A new era is beginning, and it's not about illustrators at all. In 1934, the hero of our story was elected to the National Academy of Design as an associate academician. In the early 1940s, Dean Cornwell became a full academician and once again found himself at the center of events. This was no coincidence, and not because the world had become calmer. His style was created precisely for this moment. Strong figures, clear silhouettes, confident gestures, images that need no explanation. Cornwell began to work actively for the United States War Department. He creates a series of illustrations featuring masculine men and women who are focused, collected, internally strong, patriotic, and confident. No chalice, no excessive drama. These are images of confidence and dignity. There is no fear in his works from this period. There is restraint. There is calm determination. There's a sense that people are holding on together. At the same time, Cornwell continues to do what he does best: show American life as it is. His magazine illustrations during these years are not an escape from reality. They're a record of it. Workers, sailors, nurses, cafes, streets, rooms with scattered belongings. Scenes of everyday life, sometimes romantic, sometimes daring, sometimes with a hint of crime, but always alive. Cornwell shows America without embellishment, with details, with characters, with tension between people. That is why his works from this period look so modern even today. These are not idealized scenes. This is life captured in a moment. He also collaborates with Coca-Cola, creating illustrations that combine everyday life and optimism. These images become part of the visual code of the era, familiar, warm, recognizable. But there is one thing Cornwell cannot stop. While he paints America from within, the culture itself begins to change. Photography becomes faster, television closer, images instantaneous. And suddenly it becomes clear. The era in which the artist was the main visual voice is slowly coming to an end. Cornwell is still at the peak of his craft, but the world is already preparing to move on. And this is where his quiet struggle begins, not with events, but with time. After the 1950s, the world changed faster than ever before. And Dean Cornwell was the first to feel it. Magazines that once waited for his illustrations now chose photographs. Faster, cheaper, more realistic. Illustration, the art of patience, gradually faded into the background. But Cornwell did not disappear. He returned to where it all began, to monumental painting. During this period, he worked on large murals for universities, courts, and government buildings. His figures become even larger. His gestures even more precise. His compositions almost architectural. These are not just paintings. They are visual manifestos. Cornwell paints the history of the United States as if he knows that soon it will be told differently. He depicts leaders, builders, thinkers, not perfect ones, but ones who are strong in their choices. And here's what's important. Cornwell never tries to be trendy. He doesn't imitate new styles. He does not simplify form. He does not chase trends. He remains Cornwell. Until the end of his life, he continues to teach, passing on his approach to a new generation of artists. Among his students are those who will later shape American illustration in the second half of the 20th century. Cornwell continued to work until his health deteriorated. On December 3, 1960, Cornwell experienced severe abdominal pain and was hospitalized at Roosevelt Hospital in New York for surgery, but died of heart disease on December 4th, 1960. No scandals, no sensational headlines. Just as he had lived in his last years quietly. He was 68 years old, and it seems that this is where the story ends. But in fact, it does not. Because every time we see a courageous hero, a strong woman, a detailed scene from American life, drawn with respect and dignity, we are looking through the prism that Cornwell once created. He didn't just illustrate America. He taught it to look the way it wanted to see itself. And that's why he's called the Dean of Illustrators. There's something strange about art. Sometimes an artist disappears from textbooks, but his images remain. Dean Cornwell did not become an icon of the museum avant-garde. His name rarely appears in high-profile exhibition announcements, but his visual language remains with us. Look closely. In many contemporary posters, covers, and illustrations, you will still see his shadow. Strong figures, clear light, a sense of dignity and scale. Cornwell showed people as they wanted to see themselves, confident, composed, alive. He captured America at a time when it was searching for itself and still believed in its own strength. His works do not scream. They pause, and that is why they still work even decades later. Cornwell may have lost the battle with new media, but he won something more important. His images have survived the era. And if today you looked at familiar scenes differently, if you discovered an artist you had never heard of before, then this story was not in vain. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this story or learned something new and interesting, please like it. It really helps the channel. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. There are many more stories ahead about artists, paintings, and images that have changed the way we see the world. See you in the next video.